Policies continue to put pressure on African nations. Many African Americans are making a different choice.
A growing number of African Americans say they are considering leaving the United States and relocating to...
While US politicians tighten their grip on Africa, while Washington pushes policies meant to shape the continent's future, something unexpected is happening in silence. Thousands of African Americans are quietly doing the opposite. They're not dreaming of the US anymore. They're not chasing the so-called American dream. Instead, they are packing their bags, selling their homes, and boarding one-way flights to Africa. Not for vacation, not for a short escape, but to start over, permanently. It's a movement nobody predicted, a reversal nobody prepared for, and yet it's growing faster than anything the world has seen in decades. Why would people leave one of the richest nations on Earth to return to a continent the West still labels as poor, unstable, and underdeveloped? Why now? Why Africa? Stay with us, because the answer will challenge everything you thought you knew about the American dream and Africa's future. To understand why thousands of African Americans are now returning to Africa, you must go back to where the story began, not in airports or embassies, but 400 years ago on the shores of West Africa. It was 1619, the year the first enslaved Africans were torn from their homeland, ripped from their families, and shipped across the Atlantic. What followed became the largest forced migration of a single race in human history. Millions stolen, millions lost, millions who never saw home again. For centuries, their descendants would grow up in a land that promised freedom yet delivered discrimination. A place where slavery ended on paper, but its shadow never disappeared. Laws changed, but the system didn't. Rights were granted, but equality remained out of reach. And for generations, African Americans were taught one message: Africa is behind you. America is ahead of you. Africa was painted as primitive, dangerous, hopeless, a place to escape from, not return to. But then came 2019, Ghana's year of return, a spark, a reminder, a door quietly opening after 4 centuries, and when that door opened, something began to shift. Because what happened next was not migration. It was a spiritual awakening, a reversal no one saw coming, a reversal that would explode into a movement after one event that shook the entire world, and that's where our story turns. But before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more powerful stories. For many African Americans, the decision to leave the United States didn't begin with passports or paperwork. It began with silence, the kind of silence that lives inside you when every day feels like walking on a battlefield. Sanjaya Davis knew that silence too well. On paper, she had everything America promised: a good job, education, connections, stability. She was living the picture-perfect version of the American dream. But inside, she carried a fear she couldn't shake. Every time she stepped out of her house, a question stalked her like a shadow. If I'm pulled over today, will I make it home alive? It wasn't paranoia, it was history, embedded in her DNA. The trauma of centuries, from the transatlantic slave trade, to the Tulsa massacre that displaced her own family, to the everyday racism she faced in modern America. Then came 2020, a knee on a neck, a life taken in broad daylight, a nation on fire, millions marching across the world. For Sanjaya, George Floyd's murder wasn't just news. It was the moment her spirit broke. The moment she said, "Enough." She packed her bags, left everything behind, and boarded a plane to Africa. Not to escape America, but to reclaim something America could never give her: peace, identity, home. She thought she was alone. She wasn't. Because after Sanjaya made her move, something extraordinary happened. The floodgates opened, and what followed next was bigger than anyone expected. When Sanjaya arrived in Ghana, she wasn't seeking luxury, she wasn't chasing wealth. She was searching for something far more valuable, the feeling of finally being safe in her own skin. But unknown to her, thousands of others were making the same discovery. It started in 2019, when Ghana launched one of the most powerful cultural initiatives of the century, the Year of Return. A bold invitation to the global Black family: come home, reconnect, rebuild. The world expected curiosity, a few tourists, maybe some cultural interest. What nobody expected was an emotional earthquake. Flights filled, airports overflowed, and by the end of the campaign, over 5,000 African Americans had come and stayed. Then something even more shocking happened. While 2020 pushed America into turmoil, Ghana became a symbol of healing. The African Diaspora Forum revealed that after George Floyd's murder, they received 300 relocation requests every single day. Every day. Ghana responded with open arms, citizenship programs, land opportunities, and systems designed to welcome the diaspora home. And just last year, 524 African Americans became Ghanaian citizens, with thousands more applying. But Ghana is no longer the only West African nation opening its doors. Just days ago, a powerful moment unfolded in Burkina Faso, led by Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao. Hundreds of African Americans and Afro-descendants touched down for a historic cultural homecoming. Drums, ceremonies, ancestral blessings, emotional reunions. For many, it wasn't tourism. It was a return, a declaration. Africa is not the past, it is the future. This movement is spreading across the continent. And soon, West Africa wouldn't be the only region pulling the diaspora home, because East Africa was about to rise as the new frontier. While Ghana and Burkina Faso were becoming emotional gateways for the return of the diaspora, something remarkable was happening thousands of miles away. On the eastern side of the continent, a new frontier was rising. Kenya. For many African Americans, this East African nation became more than a destination. It became the dream they never had in America. Take Kenneth Harris, a 38-year-old retired US veteran. In America, Kenneth lived with a target on his back. A veteran by title, yet treated like a suspect. But in Nairobi, everything changed. Today, Kenneth runs a thriving Airbnb business in one of the city's fastest-growing neighborhoods. His evenings end not in fear or anxiety, but on a rooftop terrace overlooking Nairobi's golden sunset, the same skyline glowing with opportunity, not oppression. Here, he says, my dark skin isn't a threat, it's a badge of belonging. And Kenneth is far from alone. Dozens of African Americans are launching travel agencies, restaurants, creative studios, farms, planting roots in a land where they finally feel seen and valued. And behind the scenes, people like Adila Mohammed, founder of Adila Relocation Services, are building bridges for others searching for freedom. What began as her personal escape after her mother's funeral has become a booming business, helping families restart their lives in Kenya. And here's the stunning part. They're not moving in fear. They're moving in faith. But if you think safety and belonging are the only reasons thousands are choosing Africa, you're missing the biggest part of the story. Because what's coming next reveals the real reason behind the Great Return. For years, people blamed politics for this exodus. But when you speak to those who have already moved, you hear something completely different. It's not about Trump. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's not even about running from America. For thousands of African Americans, the move to Africa is about running towards something they've been denied for generations. Peace of mind, dignity, identity, and the freedom to simply exist without fear. Take Austin Hollowman, a popular YouTuber who spent almost a decade traveling the world. He finally settled in Kenya 9 months ago. Why Kenya? His answer is simple. People look like me, he says, not like Europe or Latin America, but a land where his face, his skin, his smile all feel like home. One moment sealed it for him. His taxi broke down, and within 5 minutes, a complete stranger stopped to help. No suspicion, no fear, just humanity. For Austin and thousands like him, Africa isn't just an escape, it's a rebirth. And here's the part the world is not ready for. Africa is rising. From Kenya's tech boom to Rwanda's stability to Nigeria's exploding startup scene, the continent is becoming the next global frontier. A place where African Americans can build wealth, start businesses, own land, and raise children without carrying the crushing weight of racism. This is bigger than migration. It's the birth of a new African dream. But the real question is this the beginning of the largest reverse migration in modern history? The Great Return isn't just about geography. It's about reclaiming something stolen centuries ago. For the first time in 400 years, the descendants of the enslaved are choosing their destiny. No chains, no fear, no apology. They're coming home, not because Africa is perfect, but because Africa finally gives them what the American dream couldn't: peace, belonging, and a future they can shape themselves. And as more African Americans answer this call, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The next chapter of Black identity may not be written in America, but in Africa. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our next powerful story.